found a new home. Yeah, I like this. I believe I went searching around most of it, and then I got excited about finding a new home, and I stopped searching. But I believe that this is its own island. There's a couple islands fairly close to it, so it's not an excluded island. And there's a couple biomes nearby. I think that way, forest and swamps. We'll be able to get some extra materials if we want. But I really like the layout of this. I probably won't do too much on this side, but this bit in the middle here I like because I can use this section here to make some farms, and then probably along the side of this I'll start going straight up for my sky base. That'll give me a place in water where I can jump down and I won't die. Oh cool, there are some cows here. I thought I was gonna have to cart cows over. I wasn't seeing any when I first got here. Not a big deal though. I'm going to go ahead and find a spot to set up a temporary home, get myself another portal set up, and I'll probably start doing some mining. And when I've made some progress on the place, I'll bring you guys back in. We are at the Nether Hub. I wanted to show you guys that we have at least connected the new base to the Nether. I'm going to be using this. This is temporary. Don't worry about why it's so ugly. Made a temporary bridge going out. It's really not easy to get to my place. Well, it's easy, but I've not really set up a path yet for other people to easily be able to get there. So you have to kind of know how to get out there. I guess it helps to not be pranked, but the moment that any of these guys watch this video, they'll know how to get there very easy. So I managed to spend quite a bit of time doing a little bit of exploring. I did some caving, I did some mining. The place that we're looking at to set up the new base has been pretty awesome so far. The mountainside that I'm setting up a temporary base has got a lot of already empty space that's going to work out great for some of the ideas I have. Went looking in some of the caves that we had below, and they just went on forever. And they finally came across, why isn't this loading? I need to go this way. I finally came across a ravine which was happily placed at layer 11, which made me pretty happy. A lot easier to look around finding diamonds, that sort of thing. I noticed there was a lot of water in the ravine, and so I decided, I'm pretty full. Let me just go ahead and look up. And a little temporary wall there so gas don't blow this out. So I decided to just look up through the water and see if I could get to the surface, and sure enough, it was underwater in the ocean where the ravine was, but it was right off the shore of the mountain where my entrance to my base was. So I just threw an ender pearl up and was right in my storage. It was very handy. Let me get on outside here real fast. Take a quick look at what this looks like from the outside. So that was where we started the last segment of our video, where we were overlooking this side of the mountain. We had this pretty cool kind of pillar up going on here, and I decided it'd be a cool place to put the nether portal, and this little opening was already there. So it worked out really well. I've got a couple openings going on in here. Let's see what's going to be the easiest one. I think this one is. The only problem with this is because there are several ways to get inside, mobs have been kind of sneaking their way in even as I've had the place lit up. And I had a creeper blow up a bunch of iron of mine, which made me very unhappy. So one of the first things I want to do is take this little temporary room that we have here, and I want to turn it into kind of a central area for the place. I started putting together some materials that I wanted to try to use for the walls, and I wanted to try a couple of different ones at the same time, step back and kind of look at them and see which ones I like the best. I gotta take this jungle wood. I thought I had a jungle biome fairly close to me, but I went looking out and I didn't really see anything, but I didn't want to spend too much time searching to try to find that one jungle biome. So I just went back to the spawn and found one around there and got some wood. You can see this pillar over here is where the ravine is, where I'm setting up my mines. I'm going to make something a little bit easier, because right now it requires that I have a respiration helmet on to make it down there without drowning. So I wanted to set up some kind of shaft that I could just throw an ender pearl into, maybe jump down and have a water catch at the bottom and then just be able to climb some stairs back up, or if I got really crafty, did an Endervator. You can see that this goes down. There's a lot of little pathways through here. There's another kind of open room here. This even continues to go down into the caves at some point here. I think this might even be where it starts to go down into the caves. And I explored it for... Nope, never mind. Well, there is an entrance to the caves in here. I explored it for a good couple hours, and it was very expansive. I came across a mine shaft, which I got completely lost in, and still haven't explored the whole thing, even after about an hour or so of just flat out exploring only the mine shaft. And I'm pretty quick at exploring, so it's a big place. So in any case, I want to go ahead and kind of round this room out, make it a little bit more symmetrical, and then I'm going to start decorating up the walls. Probably I want to make a pathway to go down into a storage room. I don't want to make this the storage room because I'm still afraid that creepers are going to find their way in here and blow stuff up. So I'm going to make this a bit more safe. I'm going to start laying out the room a little bit, and we'll come back once I've gotten some work done. Alright, we rounded out the room. Got a little bit of a dome shape going on here. I'll probably continue it up, but I wanted to check the walls. And I had a couple different ideas. One way or another, obviously they're going to have the lamps in the middle here. But I'm trying to figure out which direction I want to go for the room. And I'm between really two of them. I'm not sure that I like these two. It's a little bit too close in color for me, and I don't know if I overused the stone brick, but I really like the mix of colors in this one and this one as well. So I think I'm going to make a decision on which one I'd prefer to use, and then I'll go ahead and finish off the room. Narrowed down to 2. I went ahead and filled out half the room with one and the other half with the other, and I have to say I'm leaning pretty... Monsters dying outside. That's right, you die. I'm leaning pretty heavily on the one on the right side here with the birch wood and the stone brick stairs. I guess I just like the lighter color in here, especially with being in the dark all the time. And my intent is, with some of the temporary rooms that I'll have here, is that they'll have some kind of theme to each room. So maybe if I stick with a little bit lighter colors for my main rooms and I do some darker colors from the other rooms, that'll look pretty cool. I think I've got it. I like the color scheme on the walls here. I like the one in the contrast with the floor, especially the dark wood and the sand. It just looks funky from that angle. I also brought it down a little bit to kind of change up the shape of the room. Put some glowstone in the middle, gives it a lot of light without having to use torches. And then I just threw sand up on the roof. Figure, for the most part, usually not spending too much time staring at the roof, so the floor can have a little bit more detail and the roof can just be a bit plain so it doesn't draw your eye very much. So the next thing I need to do is start planning out where these are going to open up, head off to different sections. The very first thing that I need to do for certain is create a storage room and really start separating my items, because there's really, other than the box here that was created for making this room, there's not a whole lot of separation. I've got some building blocks here, I've got some ore blocks here, and then the random junk chest. I have this a lot whenever I do multiplayer worlds. I just have a junk chest that's not sorted, so I really want to stick away from that, and I want to just start putting a bunch of small single-sized boxes together to handle some of the smaller items and get a bunch of double chests together for building blocks and those sort of items. One thing I didn't want to show you, and I forgot to do this earlier, was I got a lot of diamonds. I mean, I know it's not that much, but I thought it was quite a bit for how early we are in the server and how very little we have been playing this so far. I probably should have had another 6 blocks of diamond or so, but I did have an instance earlier where I was doing my thing, doing my branch mining, having a good old time. Had something like 20 ore blocks of diamond on me, and I had all my good armor. And you know, burst open some lava. Not a big deal. I've got some good fire protection. Shouldn't be a big deal. So I was just going to cover it up, and I just wanted to cover up a single block of it, and instead put one of these guys right into the middle of a lava lake, and burned up and died and lost a ton of stuff. It's the first time in a while I've been legitimately angry in a video game, but it's not terribly difficult to recover a lot of that stuff. Only took me about an hour or so to get more diamonds, another hour or so just to re-enchant my armor. Some of the pieces I'm not as excited about is you'll see I have two different fire protection items. I was trying to get a couple different things, but my luck wasn't very good today when it came to getting enchants. Did manage to put one of these back together again, was pretty happy about, and have a decent sword here. Wish I had looting on it, but not too bad. Little bit of a change of plans. I was getting ready to work on the storage room, and didn't really like what I was looking at when it came to openings that I wanted to make out of this room here. So I just kind of opened up our path a little bit towards a portal. Opened up this room here and gave it a stairway down. I probably will spend the rest of this episode working on this hallway here. And I think for the time being, I'm just going to open up one of the walls, like maybe this wall over here, and throw the storage up. Maybe it's like a piston closer or something to hide it if I don't want to look at it. I will probably open this side up because I use this opening here to get down to my mines. So I really like having this opening be somewhere I can get inside. And then I was thinking eventually I wanted to go underneath here to this other open space and turn this into more of a storage. So maybe I'll use this for your general storage, things like building blocks, mob items, maybe some extra goodies that you don't need to have right away. And then up at the top here in our main room, I'll have some hideaway storage that has some more important items, things that I need to take with me all the time. Maybe some extra food, that sort of thing, and I'll hide an ender chest in there as well. So I'm going to do a little bit of work here on this hallway. I think I'll probably change the material that I use, and I'm thinking that I might be able to use this obsidian as a way to break up the materials and move into something else. I liked the idea of throwing the obsidian here because it was a little bit easier to make to point off that we'd be going towards the nether portal. So I just felt that'd be a good visual cue for me to quickly be able to tell, especially once I start branching off. If I decide to use these corners primarily to branch off into different areas, I haven't quite made up my mind on how I want to do that, but I want to take it slow on that because past couple projects I've done, I've tried to do a little bit too much and end up having several half-completed mini projects. So I'm going to take it slow and just do one thing at a time here. So I'm going to clear this out a little bit. I'm not going to make it a straight shot. I think I might wrap it a little bit around this way, so I might bring this side so it's a little bit more of a diagonal here. But let's see, what material do we want to use? I think I'm going to stick with a stone brick at the bottom and keep that one part consistent, especially because I think if I was to remove these and go with stone brick on the sides, it would look a little bit too simple. See that one color scheme going on there, because I could try going for the dark wood edges and go with the stone brick middle. I think it might be too much of a contrast. right away. Let's take a look. I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to do about the floor. Maybe for the time being I'll just make it smooth stone. That part at least looks okay so far. Just take a couple blocks out here. I think I might shape this too so that the roof comes in a little bit more, because this is a pretty steep step down here. Jump. Nope. Dang it. Try again. I really should just make something to stand on, but God, I'm just too lazy for that. And I say lazy, and I'll sit here and I'll jump over and over and over and over again to try to make it work, and I'll miss several times. I don't know if any of you guys do that, but that's what I'll do over and over again. I'll say I'm too lazy to do anything different. It's pretty silly. Also try to work too fast. That gets me in trouble and I make mistakes like that. Do we need to do that? On this side, I might be able to go straight down with the obsidian. Can't really do anything like that on the other side. It doesn't really line up very well in this corner. I mean, it looks good, but it's hard to line it up. These are uneven. This is a little bit longer on this side to make it fit. I think just the nature of how it's coming out of the room. Okay, I like the idea, and I don't think that it clashes too bad, but I think I need to add a little bit of shape to this wall. Maybe bring it back a little bit. I'm going to try a couple things, and we'll be right back. I'm trying a couple different ideas for patterns here. I really don't want to go with the same pattern that we have inside here, but this one just kind of reminds me of a mouth. It's kind of weird. Like, these are teeth. I feel like I should have something in here. Something gets stuck in the teeth. I don't know, it just kind of looks kind of funky. Hey, maybe if I put it back one more block it would look okay, but I don't know. And then the other problem I'm looking at here is, now that I'm looking at this again, I don't know how I feel about the wood blocks with the stone inside. It seems a little bit too harsh on the inside. Like, I should have something a little bit more harsh on the outside, like nether brick. It's really the only item I can think of off the top of my head that really is more harsh looking than stone brick, but I'm not necessarily sure if I want to go with the nether brick option. I think it would make sense since we're going to the nether portal, but at the same time it's going to be one of the first things you walk in and see when you see the base. I don't want you to immediately think it's going to be dark and dreary and then walk into this nice and bright room. So I think I'm going to sleep on it. I don't think that there's much more I can do here today. I'm not feeling terribly inspired about this hallway right now. So that's going to do it for episode 3. Thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have not yet, please subscribe and like the video. And I just started a Twitter account to go along with YouTube. I'm not very good at Twitter yet, but nothing to it but to do it. Until next time.